Hey everyone, what's up? This is Ryan Cassata, and I am here with Destroy and Acadia, and today we're going to be talking about they, them pronouns. Specifically, when I talk about Destroy and Acadia and I say, oh, they use they, them pronouns instead of he, him, and his, and hers and she, people get very confused, and they're like, I don't know if I could do that, and like, oh, that's not proper English, and all the stuff like that, and it's really annoying. So,
but did you notice you just used a singular they to describe those people?
did I?
Yes,
Is
so
that
it is
good?
totally possible in the English language to refer to
Word.
people as they, them. So I'm Destroy, I'm the drummer of the band. I use they, them pronouns, and I kind of came to my identity. I consider myself non-binary, and also that word transmasculine, because I feel like I identify with masculinity, definitely on that masculine side of the spectrum. So they, them pronouns feel right to me because I don't identify as male, but I don't identify as female. So I think the English language has only given us so many options, and they, them actually feels really good to me, so I'm okay with using it.
Hi, I'm Acadia. I'm the bass player of the band. And yeah, I use they, them pronouns for basically the same exact reason. You know, I'm a more masculine person, but I just don't, he, him, his doesn't feel right to me, or doesn't exactly like sit right with me. So I use they, them because, you know, I get like both sides, neither sides, whatever I want. And I guess I identify as genderqueer, non-binary, you know, all that good stuff.
How long have you been using they, them pronouns?
Let's see. Probably about 6 months, really, only, in reality.
3 years.
There you go.
How has it been for other people to adjust to using they, them pronouns for you, especially the people closest in your life? Do they call you they, them pronouns?
It's really difficult. People slip up a lot. And I know that they don't necessarily mean to, but it does happen because they've known me for my entire life. So it's a lot of it. Basically, it's kind of on everybody else to practice to get it right. And I guess we're going to talk about that later. Like when one person transitions, it does put a burden on everybody else around them to also shift. So in certain areas of my life, that's been easier than others. At work, actually, I use female pronouns because of the line of work that I'm in. That's a topic for another day.
Okay.
But in my personal life, in my music career, I'm asking everybody to shift to neutral pronouns for me.
Alright, I mean, the shift, I guess, it's really hard, like Destroy said, for a lot of people to sort of shift pronouns. I mean, oftentimes, like, when I tell people that I use they, them pronouns, then they usually give me the grammatical, like, that doesn't make sense. So it's not always easy, and my family does try, and they usually do get it right, but, yeah.
Do you guys correct people when they use the wrong pronouns?
Man, it depends for me. There might be, like, situations where I feel like, yes, I should definitely correct them, but then if I, like, walk into a store and someone goes, hey, ma'am, like, whatever, I'll just sort of brush it off and be okay.
Yeah, I'm not okay with the ma'am thing. I'm
Yeah,
never.
It
Okay.
makes me feel weird
It's
too.
a day ruiner for sure.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a disappointing thing about having top surgery, was the fact that I thought I was going to wake up and, like, everybody was at least going to call me sir, which is, like, less wrong. And I was horrified to find out that it basically didn't change anything. And I'm like, what did I just spend $15,000 on?
Yeah, I mean, for me,
like...
when I was getting my top surgery, my gender therapist made sure that I knew that I was not going to pass any differently with top surgery. And that was something that I had to know for myself, that it wasn't going to affect the way I passed. So that's an important thing for people out there to know, that, like, just because you get top surgery doesn't mean you're going to pass any better. Because there are females that have very small chests, so that's just like a fact of life. But, I mean, the only thing that really makes you pass 100% as male is if you go on testosterone and you've been on it for a while, And obviously none of us chose to go in that direction, so I think that's, like, a really interesting thing about this band. And I know people that are on testosterone and use they, them pronouns too. And
I have.
So it's important to know that, like, people of all identities use they, them pronouns. Even some people that aren't even trans-identified are using they, them pronouns now. So it's becoming a more popular thing, I would say. I meet more and more people every day that are using they, them pronouns. And I think, like, in the future, like, in the near future, I think it's going to become a more accepted thing.
I think it has a lot to do with age as well.
Oh,
like,
heck yeah.
You know, for me, I'm not gonna age myself in this video too much. I'm a little bit older than them. So people that are my age or within like 5 years on either side of my age, it's still a relatively new thing to not, or to the whole concept of the gender binary, male and female. It's a new concept for them. To understand that there are other options, that there's fluidity with this whole thing, that there is no fixed point with your gender necessarily. For some there is, for others there isn't. And that even if your fixed point of gender is not male or female, that you're still valid, your identity is still valid. And I have to constantly remind myself of that, because there's that whole thing about, like, am I trans enough because I identify as non-binary, because I use they, them pronouns, because I'm not on testosterone but I'm masculine presenting. Like, am I trans enough? And the answer is yes.
Yes, definitely.
So,
what is one thing you want society to know about they, them pronouns, if you had to say one thing?
For me, it's a matter of inclusivity. When there are announcements like ladies and gentlemen, I'm like, oh, I don't have to listen to that because they're not talking to me. You know, because I'm a smart ass, so I like to think that way. But it's more about, like, let's really look at our language. Let's try to create inclusive language that makes everybody feel represented without, you know, I'm not a special flower. I don't need to be treated as a special flower, but basically with a gender binary, I'm invisible, and that feels terrible, because then what does my existence mean? Like, nobody actually sees me for who I am. They just see me for who they think I am, which 99% of the time is wrong. So for me, they them pronouns means creating inclusive language and inclusive space for everybody.
Man, you give such a deep answer. Like, what else am I supposed to say? Well,
you can just agree with me. I like when that happens.
Yes, I agree. But also, I guess, like, the biggest thing is, once upon a time, people didn't use singular you. Language always evolves. Language always changes. Be open to it. And technically, it's not grammatically incorrect. You can look it up in the dictionary. Okay, I've gotten this too much.
If it's good enough for Shakespeare, it's good enough for us, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please comment what pronouns you use below and why you use those pronouns. And let me know if you guys have any more topics for videos. And we say you guys because we're from Long Island. So.
Yeah, you guys!
Yeah.
Yo, hey!
So don't
Also,
hate.
Ryan, I'm not from Long Island. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, they say it too. They say it too. Alright, it's an East Coast thing.
Yeah,
It totally is.
Appreciate
Alright, y'all.
Yeah, see you later, y'all.